Hello again all and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to AMC. Since we last looked at this stock, we've seen quite a lot happen. When we look out to the 5-day chart quickly, you will see that we've seen a lot of price movement, a lot down, and yesterday we saw some upwards movement for the first time in a while. When we come out to a more simple chart, this is shown a lot more clearly. We had some significant red days into the later part of last week, and coming into this week, Monday into Tuesday, we're seeing a big trend change with the stock now going above $8 again. The question is, what comes next? As a lot of people are wondering where we go with AMC. We're seeing some days where the stock's down by 5-10%. We're seeing some days where the stock's up by 5-10%. So what would I personally do if I was looking to get into this stock, or if I owned this stock? Well, that would depend. A lot of people who bought AMC bought it a long time ago, as obviously a lot of you will know. From that point, AMC stock is still down significantly, and when we factor in the price pre-reverse split, we're seeing the stock down to about 8 cent, or 80 cent rather. So with the stock being at 80 cent pre-split, the question is, what would I do? Well, if I was somebody who hadn't invested in AMC and didn't own any shares, I think now is probably a brilliant time to buy, in my personal opinion. Again, not advice. The reason why I think that is because when we look at AMC, again, 80 cent per share pre-reverse split, and the company's fundamentals are not getting significantly worse. We're in the same position that we were previously, so from that standpoint it does seem like a great time to buy at a massively devalued rate. However, if I was already owning the stock, I'd either be trying to average down or really not buying any more shares. It's a very tough one, because if people bought in, even in May, we're seeing the stock drop down now by about 80%, and the question is, can we ever get those gains back? And that's what we need to really think about when we're looking at AMC here. I don't say this to be hateful or anything. I don't have any kind of interest. Like I said before, I sold my AMC shares once the first split happened, when AMC and APE essentially happened. I sold my shares then. I thought that's the end of it. So for me now, I'm not seeing this as any kind of a squeeze opportunity. I know a lot of you guys will disagree with me. I think this is still a stock though that we can capitalize upon. I have been trading AMC quite a bit because the pattern is quite predictable, or has been for recent weeks. We've seen the stock rise up by 10-15% in a single day, and then it just continues to drop and drop and drop. So whilst that's something that we cannot obviously guarantee for the future, what I would say is AMC is one of those stocks where you have to be very careful with it. I think as a long-term investment, it is probably one of the best times if you do believe it's something that could work. But in the short term, it's very hard to predict what we could be expecting. I mean, if anything today, I'd be expecting a very small amount of green, if not another red day. So when we see AMC rise by 5% a day, 10% a day, 15%, we just have to remember the stock is down significantly, and we'd have to see it rise hundreds of percent to even get to where it was just a couple of months ago. And I know that some people are not going to like that opinion or that fact, but it is, like I say, a fact. So looking at where this one could go in the future, again, I wouldn't expect moves too much lower in the next couple of days. I'd love to see this one stay above 7.5, as in 750. And I'd also love to see it ultimately stay above 7 in the long run. Whether we're going to hold above 8 though is a more difficult question. Again, when we look out to the pre-market today, we're already seeing a drop of about 0.9%. And that's a question for today. So if we hold 8, things are looking good. Maybe we're going to be seeing that 8.5 range. We want to break above yesterday's high and potentially then on to 9. That could indicate a bit of a trend change for AMC, because whilst it has been very all over the place in the last 5 days, we're seeing the stock now up by 8% in the last 5 days. Come back to the past month, we're seeing this trend really start to flatten out. If it continues to stay above 8 or even 7, I would be asking the question of, is this the bottom of this? And that's why, in my opinion, AMC could potentially be a perfect opportunity for a long-term investment / trade. Anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section. I just wanted to make a quick video talk about what I'm expecting for the day to come. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you again soon. Goodbye.